What's up, YouTube? So I got asked, did LL Cool J need to make any more albums after Mama Said Knock You Out to solidify his legacy? No, because that Walking with the Panther album almost buried him. When people actually cared about hip hop, when they held it against you for being a Big Willie. You remember how Q-Tip caught some backlash? Ironically, he produced the last LL Cool J album. But ironically, that Big Willie style, that Willie style, almost when LL had big old butt, remember? And people was hating and jiggling baby and they was holding it against him. And then Mama Said Knock You Out was a turning point. He was the first artist that was almost on hip hop life support that came back because of that. He found a way to keep a hit. He found a way to keep a hit album. So after the Mama Said Knock You Out and Around the Way Girl, and he did the MTV Unplugged, which I still think is one of the best unplugs I saw. I saw him in concert around that time. He put on a good show. To me, I don't understand why he ain't never done a Super Bowl show. He got the catalog, he's got the energy, he got the hype. Yeah, he got corny, the whole CSI TV and all that other stuff. But for his credit, for his catalog, impact, LL Cool J is like hip hop's version of New Edition. He could still get on that stage and still got the songs and move you. So I don't understand that. Just saying. Now, asking me about the Mama Said Knock You Out. Yeah, I mean, if hip hop hadn't gone into the direction it did in the 90s, whatnot, that album would probably be more heralded even more. Because it was a strong comeback for him. Him and Marley Mel. And I thought it really was really a happening record. I thought that it was really, one of those albums that solidified him. He said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. He had a line that was applicable for a lot of artists. He had lines and he had a vibe that represented so much. So I always held LL Cool J in high regard. So Mama Said Knock You Out. No, he didn't have to put out because he came out with that corny pink cookies in the bag mess, and then Hey Lover, and then of course Lounging, and he had hits. He had what I call more happening hits. But as far as an album, that Mama Said Knock You Out was probably like that last record of his that I would say that was the one that solidified his legacy. Def Jam, and where he, and he was on point with that. He really, because he had his own sound, he had his groove, he had battled people. The hip hop was so different back then, you know. I haven't really cared for no LL Cool J album in years, or half of one anyway. But that Mama Said Knock You Out, that was on point, He always had one of the coldest flows. He was one of those cats. In some ways, he's been kind of downplayed, but let's make no mistake about it. You'd be very hard pressed to find any hip hop artist who's been as successful as him. And I'm talking about from longevity. I'm talking about for the fact that he pretty much hit in all multiple eras, 80s, 90s, and the 00s. I wasn't feeling, I forgot what song it was he came up with in the last decade. Yeah, but he still was carrying hits. He did like a 30-year window of hits for hip hop. That's pretty impressive, no matter how you look at it, So. But anyway, let me know what you think. Did LL Cool J need to make another album after Mama Said Knock You Out to solidify his legacy? Tell me what you think. And where you got him all time in rappers? He's in my top 4 ever. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.